Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you guys are. I hope you're having a really good Sunday. I think the stream did a quick die and reconnect. It's still having some problems. Last week it was really good, and I don't think we had any disconnects. Today I think we've had one. We'll monitor it. It just seems to be Twitch things at the minute. Although I did notice that 1080p is back as an option. Twitch have decided to enable that despite me changing absolutely nothing. So yeah, I don't know what Twitch is doing or what it is. Anyway, Captain Reed, congratulations. You did get first an hour and a half before the stream by saying good evening. So congratulations on that and well done. Who else is here? I can see we've got Bazooko saying first, but they were actually second. We've got Liebig saying Priams. Don't know what that means, but okay, and welcome to the stream. Rue's here as well. Good evening, Rue. I hope you're doing well. So is Storsness. Chris Bezic subscribed for 47 months, said pennies. Thank you so much, Mr. Bezic, for the 47 months of subs. And I do owe you a pink rocket ship, so let's get that lit up. Thank you very much, Mr. Bezic, for lighting up my pink rocket ship. So I beat Reed? No, I'm afraid you didn't. Frankie101, hey man, good to see you. This is the Dold is here as well. Says hello everybody. Just replacing myself with AI right now, very successfully, which is okay. I'm old. Please don't replace yourself with AI. And I think I probably have you beaten in the age department, but we'll see. Aurora Dawn, FR says long live the NPR. Yeah, the NPR is in a box outside me. I haven't even unboxed it yet myself, so you will see it with me as I open it for the first time later on in the stream. Having so much fun with my Noose Wing numpad right now. Nice. Yeah, the Noose Wing numpads and macro blocks are on the way to PT at the minute. They should be here at the end of the month as well, so I'll have some in stock towards the middle of April, I suspect. V-Rug Dush as well. Good evening, good sir. I hope you're doing well. The music's really quiet. Let's give that a little bit of volume. There we go. I smell a J stream. Yeah, I'm here. I am streaming. Exciting build tonight. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for the NPR. It's a good keyboard, I think. Well, numpad, but you know what I mean. What's the biggest number you've typed on it? That's an interesting question, actually, Bazooka. What is the biggest number you know of? Like the biggest number sounds like it should be relatively easy to describe, right? But I think some of the biggest number. This is where my ADHD goes, and so I knew about this beforehand, but I watched the Hannah Fry and Vsauce podcast, The Rest is Science, the other day, and I knew about Graham's number before this, but Graham's number is one of the biggest numbers ever conceived, and it's just like this huge number, and yeah, it's more of a concept than a real number that can exist, but it's just gigantic. So if you ever want to type the biggest number out, just write the text Graham's number, and that's technically one of the biggest numbers that anyone's ever been able to thought about putting a definition around. Of course, you could then write Graham's number +1 and you then win again, right? So I don't know, maybe you want to have a think about that, but yeah, they did like a section of their podcast which was about huge numbers. So yeah, Hungry Hannah, thank you so much for 21 months of subs. I thoroughly appreciate your subs and lighting up my pink rocket ship. Thank you so much for that. One of the other interesting numbers I talked about was 52 factorial, so 52 with an exclamation mark, which is the number of different combinations you can have a deck of playing cards. And I knew that 52 factorial was a huge number. Like, it's bigger than you could possibly imagine. Like, it's bigger than all of the atoms in the galaxy, in the universe, more than likely, I suspect. It's like this huge number when you actually work it out. And that's how many different combinations of packs of playing cards you could have, which means that with a fair shuffle, there's never likely been two packs of playing cards that have ever been shuffled in the same order from a fair shuffle. And I think the definition of 52 factorial was if you started on the equator of the Earth, waited 1 billion years, 1 billion years, took a single step, waited another 1 billion years, took a next step, and then went all the way around the Earth, waiting 1 billion years in between each step. Then at the end of doing the full lap around the world, you take a single drop of water out of the Pacific Ocean, and then keep repeating that. So one step, 1 billion years, one step, 1 billion years, get all the way around the Earth, take a drop of water out. By the time you've emptied out the entirety of the oceans on the planet, you then put a piece of paper down on on the floor.
Tasty.
And you keep repeating that until you stacked all of the pieces of paper up to the sun. You're only like a third of the way through 52 factorial, which is just insane how big this number is. Anyway, yeah, let's catch up with chat anyway. Raid Bool, hello everyone. Hello. Good evening, folks. Captain Redlux here as well. Affiliate Fish says good evening too. So does Rue. Are we having technical issues? It's just the same thing that Twitch has been doing to the stream for the past couple of months. I don't know why it blips on and off sometimes, but it does. It seems to be okay at the minute. We'll keep an eye on it. Don't use it for numbers. I'm in the process of testing an application. Use it for macros, like if a user types in their name and address. Heaven sent. Macro pads are awesome for that. I have some macro buttons down on the edge of my desk. If you look in this little thing here, you'll see my hand gesticulating. I have some buttons just here that you probably can't quite see that do different things, like this. Oh, that's turned off. It's not plugged in. I just realized it's not plugged in because I took it out the other day. What it was gonna do is it was gonna go like that, and it didn't because it's not plugged in. I just remembered. But it's kind of fun, and I use it for
incredible.
Nufi, hello, good sir. Thank you very much for being here. It says hello all. Another comfy Sunday J stream. Yeah. Ryu versus Jacques. I don't know how to pronounce that. Looking forward to that NPR Numpad build. Yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit. How should we entertain ourselves until Jay returns? Would anyone like to play I Spy? I'm here, dude. By going on the website to buy the NPR. Nice. Chaos23 is here as well. It says ads are running right now. Yeah, if you sub, you don't get ads. There's the trick. Jay with no cap, so handsome. Yeah, I'm not wearing a cap today because I'm getting a little rash across here from my hat, which I'm very, very conscious about. So please point it out and make me feel even more self-conscious about it. No, I unfortunately right now my uncle is in the hospital and he's not very well. He's trigger warning. So if you don't want to hear this bit, maybe mute it for a minute and I'll give a thumbs up when I've stopped talking about it. So maybe that's something you want to consider. So I'll give a thumbs up when you can unmute it if things like this, like medicinal type stuff, make you uncomfortable. Anyway, let's start. So my uncle is currently on end of life care, which is really sad. And I spent the nurses expected Friday to be his last day. So on Friday, about 9 p.m, I drove all the way over to Scunthorpe, which is the hospital he's in. Following my brother, he was in front of me in his car, and we both stayed until 6 a.m, something like that, and then came home. My uncle is still fighting. We'll put it that way, and but it's a losing battle. Like it's gonna stop at some point. So I'm just waiting for the news. I do have my phone at the side of me just in case, and if it does ring, I may need to just nip off stream and answer it and be there for family. My current plan is my brother's there today. I'm gonna go back and spend time with my cousins. I have 3 cousins. They're all older than me, like significantly older than me. Like they're all in their 50s and maybe even 60s, I think. So I'm gonna go over tomorrow after work, depending on what the situation is. And we'll see. But yeah, it's sad times. Anyway, talked about that. Not going to talk about it anymore. So there's a thumbs up if you were on the trigger and on mute. So yeah, you can listen again now. But yeah, so because I was there, I had my hat on for like 24 hours or something, and now I've got a rash underneath my hairline. So yeah, it is one of those things. Sub J flexing the Beige Town. Yeah, the Beige Town desk mat. I've had this since we got the group buy in, and it's the first time I've actually put it on the desk. But these are in stock right now. You can buy these, and you can. Sorry, my phone just flashed. Just need to check it. It's not anything. No, it's good. Customer email. Not something I need to worry about soon. It's in stock. You can buy these and they will ship tomorrow. If you order it tonight, it'll ship tomorrow. And we actually have 3 for 2 on desk mats right now as well, which I'm doing a little bit of the shilling early. So if you buy any 3 in stock desk mats, the cheapest one's free automatically at checkout. So maybe you want to pick up some desk mats and have them shipped tomorrow. Incredible. Take a look on the website. I don't know. FR Gang Assemble. Nice. Welcome, guys. Welcome. I don't know any French, so I'm not going to try and speak any French. I know little bits. I can understand some French. I can conversationally understand French. I don't really speak it. I can more just follow the gist of what people are saying. So yeah. I hope your family member is better. I think I've already talked about that, so I'm not going to talk about it anymore, Gorkus Billion, but you can rewind and see what I said about that if you wanted to. Hey guys, the biggest issue with the NPR is to choose the colour. There is a really easy way if you're struggling to pick a colour, Desmo. There is a really easy way to handle that. And you just it's so simple. You just buy them all. Buy one of each. It's just like the easiest thing in the world. You just add them to cart and click buy, and that's it. It's done. Job done. No sauce. Good evening. Hey man, good to see you. Jelly Master's here too. Just read the message in Discord. Hope you're all right and hope everything goes as well as possible. Yeah, I talked about it earlier, Manu Keeves. I don't want to talk about it again because it's like a trigger thing for some people. So I did give a little update and let people know when to go on mute. And you can rewind that if you want to have a listen to that. Hungry Hannah, yes, you did light up the pink rocket ship. Thank you again for those subs. Did you catch the Grand Prix and highlights? Yes, I did, Tub. I was awake for the Grand Prix. Again, if anyone doesn't want spoilers on the Grand Prix, I am going to talk about the Formula 1 right now. I'll give a thumbs up again in case you want to mute for this and not hear the Formula 1 news. But yeah, I did watch the race. I watched it live. I thought the start was really interesting. Thank you, Pestilence, for lighting up the pink rocket ship. I appreciate that, my dude. So yeah, the Formula 1 things that I found really interesting. The active aero looks cool as fuck when it's live and you're watching the cars and the rear wings and the flexi front wings are going up and down. Really cool to see that. I thought the start was really interesting. I think the lights just went out instantly, which I was not expecting, and I think it caught a couple of drivers out. I think Colapinto did really well to avoid a smash on the start as well. Really impressed with that. I was actually really impressed with Colapinto's whole race, to be honest. I thought he did really well. And Arvin Lindblad, talent, just instant talent, which is really good to see. I think Lewis Hamilton could have done a little bit better. And I suspect if the race had 2 more laps, or if he'd pitted 2 laps earlier, he would have been ahead of Charles Leclerc, but it is what it is. I think Ferrari, surprisingly, actually got the strategy spot on. They did the opposite of Mercedes, which is exactly what they should have done under the safety car. I think maybe if the second safety car hadn't been on the pit lane entry where Bottas was, I think they would have stopped there and been maybe slightly better, but I'm not sure if that would have increased the chances of a better place or not. Maybe it would have been 2 Ferraris and 1 Mercedes. I think it was always Mercedes' race to lose, and that just didn't look... Russell was in imperious form today, so I didn't think he was going to do anything there. Verstappen charged through the whole field. Really impressive drive from him under these new cars. Oscar Piastri, I mean, I don't know what happened. I haven't seen any reports of what happened to his car and why it spun. It looked like he just hit the curb and for some reason had either more power than he was expecting, and maybe he was holding a button down he shouldn't have been and just off. Don't know. But it's exciting to see how this is going to be the race of things to come. I think, and one thing I am excited for is for the Formula 1 screen overlays to start to show more information about battery power. They did it a couple of times during the race, but clearly they're still testing a few things, and I think they must have some ideas on how they want to implement that aren't necessarily set in stone right now. And I didn't think the implementations were particularly effective at telling us what's happening with the battery power and stuff just yet, but I am really interested to see how that pans out, because there'll be a lot of overtaking and undertaking. But yeah, I thought the race was 7 out of 10. I thought it was good. It was intriguing to see the new cars. Reliability was better for most people. Yeah, Hajjao looked like he was on track for a really good race. Of course, he was one of the few taken down by reliability problems. But yeah, overall, solid race. I thought it was a great introduction to the new regulations and new things that they've got. Do you watch it on Sky? I do. Yeah, I do watch it on Sky. Yeah. So yeah, thank you very much, Tom, for the question. Hammer Brother, hey man, good to see you, dude. Thank you very much for being here. Rare Hatless J. Yeah, I have like a little rash on my forehead from wearing a hat too much, because I only really wear a hat here at the workshop because it gets like when boxes come from China, they're covered in this dry, sticky, greasy powder, which is the only way I can really describe it. And it just gets everywhere. And when it gets on my hands, I'm very much a run my hands through my hair person, but I don't put product in my hair ever if I can help it. So and then I end up having to wash my hair because it gets greasy. So wearing a hat stops me doing that. So I try and wear a hat here at the workshop, and of course then it's just clean when it's not picking up from all the other bits and pieces that are floating around. But outside of the workshop, I don't typically wear a hat. So yeah. True Blaze, thank you so much for 37 months of subs as well, dude. I appreciate you. I see a lot of new sets are going towards SWG instead of GMK because of the price, but is the quality comparable? Is SWG better? I don't think it's better, Baron Ragnar. I think it's as someone who sells a lot of GMK sets, I think we've been involved in something like 85% of the group buys for GMK sets over the last 5 years or something. I thought the stream had disconnected, then it's not, it's just another notification. I think GMK is still the cream of the crop. Like, it is the best quality keycaps on the market right now are GMK. What SWG has is it has a little bit more control over what you can do, because it uses Creative's new dice of individual legends on the top of a keycap and then double shot it, so you can have multiple legends with different colors on the same double shot keycap, and it gives options to do different things with kitting, and the price is a little bit cheaper. I think the quality is 90% of what GMK is. I think it's a slight drop in quality, but it's also quite a big drop in terms of cost, like in terms of the production price, and that's why we moved Midnight Rainbow from GMK. Actually, Mike messaged me about Midnight Rainbow at Novel Keys. He messaged me about, he's like, we're still doing GMK Midnight Rainbow, and it's like, I need to have that chat with him on Monday, I think. But we've moved it to SWG, or Swag Keys' new profile, which is basically a cherry clone, because it just offers a little bit more flexibility at a price point that I think is a little bit more achievable for us to enable more people to pick it up. Like it's a much more accessible price, but that does come with a slight drop in quality. But it's not like it's to a point where it's a negative product. Like, it's not like a bad quality product. There are far worse products out there for more money. So yeah, can't see any rash, to be honest. It is there. It's just a couple of little spots, but it's one of those things. Thanks for all the well wishes as well, guys. I appreciate that. Already have too many decimates. That's fair. Even French people can't properly speak French anyway. I mean, I can speak bits of French, but not huge amounts.
Tasty.
I can understand more than I can speak. Moons, thank you so much for these subs, dude. Big hugs. 41 months in a row. Thank you so much for that, dude. Like, I know, like, how to ask for directions and how to follow them. I can order off of a menu. I can do little bits and pieces, but I'm not a French speaker at all. Is the top rough or smooth for the desk pad? For this one, it's a rough surface. We actually have a filter on the website, so if you go onto the website, I think this should show it. This is going to pop the website up. Come on, there we go. If you jump onto the website and you go to in stock desk mats, Busy Town was the last ones we stocked, so they're at the top. You should be able to see that they are of a rough texture. It does say that, and we also on here we have a filter where you can select the desk mat texture, where you can select smooth or rough. So when you click on rough, it brings up all the rough textured desk mats, which I personally prefer. If you don't want that and you want the smooth ones, you can do that as well. And yeah, the filters will help you figure that out. So yeah, I hope that helps. But yeah, they are a slightly rough texture. Any discounts if you buy them all? Frankie1001, if you buy all of the NPR Numpads, there's no discount, but I will come and hand deliver to them personally. I will come up to your door with all of them. I will knock on your door and I'll hand deliver them. How about that? Easy clap. Thanks, man. How's the house buying sale going? This is a real saga. So, for those of you who don't know, I'm trying to sell my house to move house just to reduce costs and things like that, because it's just really expensive in life. And we're trying to buy a house that has a barn in the garden, so I can move at some point in the future PT to that barn. It will be at least 2 years away before that happens at the very least, because the barn needs all renovating. But we're trying to do this to try and future-proof like how we're living and how life is, and it also puts us more in contact with where family are, rather than 2 hours drive away. We'll be 20 minutes away. So the long and short of it is we put our house up for sale in October last year. We had 2 viewings on the Saturday. We had 2 viewings on the Monday, and then we had 2 offers on Tuesday. We went through with one of the offers, and then we put an offer in the house on what we wanted to buy. Incredible. And our offer was accepted. So everything was going okay. That was back in October. And then 2 or 3 weeks ago, in fact, I can tell you the date. It was on the 20th of February. We were told that the buyers of our house had pulled out. And the reason that they pulled out is they told us they were first-time buyers. They told us they didn't have to sell their house or anything else. They were just going to be first-time buyers, buy a house, move in, and then we'd be able to buy the house we wanted to buy. And the house is roughly the same value. Like, it's not like I'm trying to get like a bigger house or a bigger mortgage or anything. It's like almost identical in terms of value proposition. So they pulled out, and the reason they pulled out is because they'd apparently not been selling a house in the UK, which is what the form says, but they'd been selling a house overseas in India. That sale had fallen through in November. They'd chosen not to tell us about it until almost March, almost 5 months later. And they'd been trying to find another buyer, and they couldn't. So they told, they told us, and that was a couple of weeks ago. We put the house back up for sale last week. We had some viewings this week just gone, and we had an offer put in on Friday. Now we want to double check and verify that this offer is legitimate and that they actually have the funding available, they have a mortgage and everything before we formally accept it. So the good news is maybe we have sold it again. The bad news is we still now need to now go and negotiate the purchase of the house again that we did want to buy, because that's back up for sale because it fell through. So yeah, long story short, we've wasted 5 months. It's cost me £4,000, and I'm back to square one. Maybe I'm on square two of 5. Maybe, that's where I am right now. So we'll see how it goes over the next couple of weeks. I am basically assuming that it's not done and we're not going to move, but I'm hopeful that we might do. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, Rob Brum. But right now, it's not good, and it's been better. Let's put it that way. Pestilence, thank you so much for 90 months of subs as well. Every time they go on a straight, my heart sinks. Why? Clacky Geeks, hey man, good to see you. Thanks for being here. F1 spoiler talk is over. Is anyone still muted? Oh, I didn't do the thumbs up. Yeah, I should have done the thumbs up. Sorry, I forgot, Oxy. Similar feelings on the race. The super clipping is depressing to watch for the supposed pinnacle of motorsport, but the race was better than expected. I think it's like just I think that's just one of the you're always going to have compromise in any formula that Formula One develops, and I think that's the compromise. So yeah. SWG are quite demanding when it comes to childcare MOQs. So are GMK. So are GMK. But they're also more affordable, so it means that the MOQ is easier to hit with SWG. Hope your family is as well as possible. Thanks, Moons. I appreciate you, buddy. Why don't you ask Bagri to build your dream house? Is that what Bagri does? Does Bagri build houses? Is he a builder? I'd love to buy some land and build a house, but it's just not in my future at the minute, I don't think. I have nowhere near enough capital to do that in my life. Sorry to hear, man. No worries, buddy. Thanks very much for saying that, Dr. Drew, though. I appreciate you. I hope the sellers of the house you wanted come around. We'll see. They did come up with another solution a couple of days ago, but I'm not sure it's for us, where they were offering like a part exchange deal on our current house, and then they'd sell our current house, but then they wanted more money off of us as cash for that. And it just doesn't feel like it's achievable where we are right now, so I'm not sure. Compared to the last home update, this sounds more promising. We'll see. I don't want to get down into the thinking of, oh yeah, we've done it, and then just find out it's failed again. So my assumption is here, but it's not. I would tell you to come here, but that's gone to shit now. Yeah, I mean, I know, dude. Like, I'm really sad about what's happening in that part of the world. Sad times. Any discounts on GMK Grey and Black? I could probably do a small one. I could probably do 10%. Shall I do 10% off GMK Grey and Black? The GMK Shaded, I think it's called, right? Is that the one you mean? Create discount. Amount off products. Discount code. Streamer says hi. 10%. And we can do that off of GMK Shaded. Where's the in-stock ones? There. Okay. Okay, and that will finish at when the stream finishes later on today. So yeah, GMK's Shaded. There you go. I will pin that in a second as well. He's an architect by trade. Oh, nice, nice. You're an architect. I did not know that, but congratulations on being an architect. That was one of the professions I wanted to do before I became a program manager. So yeah. There you go. 10% there. Kaiju dark base black. It's almost black. If you remind me towards the end of the stream, Clacky Keeps, I can go and get one of the child kits if we've got any left in stock and show you it. But yeah, it's quite dark. It's almost black. I wouldn't say it was perfectly black from my memory, but it's almost dark. It's almost black. There we go. Let me pin that post. Wait, why can I not pin that? Oh, it's already been pinned. That's why. Thank you. Invis, hey man, that's the name I've not seen for a long time. Invis, I hope you're doing well, dude. Invis is like one of the OG guys. Been a long time since I've seen your name, dude. Unless you're a different Invis, and in which case I have no idea. Right, okay, so let's talk about PT news then. I'm just trying to plan the rest of the stream because I haven't done a very good job of this today, I'll be honest. Not that I ever do. Let's talk about things on the website, and we'll do the whole shilling bit, the shilling part of the stream, which I really am terrible at doing. But let's have a look at live group buys on the website right now. We're going to take a look at the NPR Numpad kit later on today. This is quite possibly one of the coolest projects we've ever been involved in. Look at how beautiful this thing is in all of the different colors. It is just stunning. You can pick those up. I'm going to build one in a few minutes, but they're 200 quid including VAT, and you've got 24 days left to buy one. GMK CYL green alert is also available in group buy right now, and it does have that really cool green alert row. Might be something you're interested in. DCS Pulch, Pink and Dolch, what's not to love? And everyone who buys this will get a free UK ISO kit as well, because that's what we do here. I think we've got, there it is, render of the UK ISO kit, only at PT, but that's included with the base kit. Finn 60XT is in group buy as well, so is DCS Cream Cheese and Green. This is really struggling, guys. If you like old school DCS and you want a UK ISO kit set as well, maybe support this one, because old school DCS is the best. This is one of the nicest group buys that ever ran historically. It's such a good set, and here it is in modern times, and it's not seeing the love I thought it would get, so maybe you want to consider picking that up. Last chance to buy PFF Verdant Retro on this. There's only 2 hours left on this, 3 hours left. This is the new Penguin Flatfoot from Monteo. It's available in 2 colorways right now. There's the white on black and there's the Verdant Retro colorways. But it's the new uniform profile designed for low pro switches. Really cool project. And I think Tofu 60 ends pretty soon as well. Wait, I did not mean to click on that. I meant to click on that. Oh, there's 12 days left on that. I'm wrong. It's been extended, I forgot. And there's a couple of days left on KKB Beige. Why not get some Beige? Because Beige is great. Also, the Float 65. I'm hoping to get a prototype of this in, the new one. I did build the old prototype on stream a couple of years ago. But maybe you want to consider this as well. I want the orange one. But the Hammertone Bronze is also up there, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but they're 108 quid. It's a bargain. Maybe you want to consider that too. In terms of pre-orders, there's a couple of things I want to call out on pre-orders. We've just opened up Abstract Minimal, SWG Rubber, and SWG Nimbus, as well as the Hammerhead Small Batch, because that's going as well. Cap Grey Alert has the UK ISO keys, as does GMK Divina Papaya. Divina Papaya is not too far away from being ready to ship, so if you do want to get in on that, I would advise you pick it up at pre-order pricing sooner rather than later, because it'll be at in-stock pricing soon. And the same goes for Gurakawa as well. That's not too far away. So if you want to secure a little discount, maybe you want to consider that. And then for in-stock stuff, guys, Dynacap went back in stock with the packs. These are really cool. You get a ton of stuff in these packs designed for this is the HHKB ones. If you've got a HHKB you want to convert, you get all of the stuff you need to do that in there. We also have the Dynapack kit for the full 60%, 65% layout, so if you want to do that, you can do that. And if you then want to get TKL or 75%, all you do is you buy the 65% and the TKL add-on, and it gives you enough for a TKL keyboard. Nice and easy. We've also just dropped a GMK CYL Ada in stock as well. This is based on Ada Lovelace, the one of the original coders and developers. Super nice orange colorway. Might be something you're interested in. And GMK MT New White on Black and Classic Beige are literally shipping to us right now. So as soon as they arrive, they will be shipping. I put them as in stock, but there is some red text on here that just to highlight that it's listed as in stock, but it's currently en route. So it's not going to be our usual turnaround of one day or like the same day, depending on when you order it. It's going to be by the end of this month, but it should be pretty quick, so maybe you want to pick that up. And we did literally just drop GMK CYL Windbreaker in stock a couple of days ago, and I'm about to unbox my personal set of GMK Windbreaker and put it on a keyboard, but I want you guys to help me pick which keyboard to put it on. So yeah, maybe that's something you want to consider as well. Right, okay, let's catch up with chat. Polch has ISO sold. Yeah, we'll try and do any DCS set with UK ISO. We have like a really good agreement with Melissa where we can get the keys quite cheap. So I will. It means I don't make any money on group buy sets. Like Prototype doesn't make a profit. We break even on group buy sets, but then hopefully we'll make it back on in stock sales. But yeah, that's a thank you for anyone who helps support those sets. I really want the float, but not ISO. It's sad, but it's really cheap for a reason. So yeah. Is Davina Papaya CYL and MT New being released at the same time? I'm not sure yet. When it goes in stock, we'll probably have it as separate listings, whereas on the pre-order it's just under one. But I'm not sure whether we're going to get them at the same time or not. If GMK can ship one before the other, they usually do. So if the CYL set's ready first, they will ship that. They did that with Copper, but they did ask the vendors first. So yeah. V-Rug says cream cheese goes great on keyboards. Just Simon, did he actually put cream cheese on a keyboard? Man, what are your thoughts on MT New compared to CYL? I actually have a board on my desk permanently that has MT New on it. This is my Matrix 2.0 ad Mr. Hat Christmas edition, and I've had MT New on this since I built it, because it's really nice when you're doing office work, and I have the matching numpad for that. So that's what I use for spreadsheets, which are 60% of my work here at PT, and then I have a 65% that's the Kafka, which has not left my desk. Sorry, my monitor wants to do screen optimization. I'm just going to cancel that right now. There we go. Because the Kafka is really cool, but I'm going to have to send that back soon. So yeah, my thoughts are MT New is great for productivity stuff. I think it's probably less good for gaming, but if you're typing and writing a lot, it's really, really nice to use. It's just comfortable. I think CYL is still my preference, but it's very, very close, and MT New is a really close second. Whichever board you have with Zooted needs to be switched to Windbreaker. Down with Zooted. That's a Neo 80, the original ones. I don't think I'm going to put it on that though. I have two boards here that you can pick from in a second. Go on then, just order cream cheese and green. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it. Left Land Legend on MT New and I'd use it. That's fair. I like the centered Legend though on a spherical profile. Don't really see people putting MT New on high-end builds, so I'm a bit sussed out. I put it on all sorts of stuff. I have it on matrices. I have it on TGRs. So yeah. Big fan of the NPR. Suddenly I can't afford it because I just went in on the duality kill. That's fair. A lot of ABS snobbery. MT New is great. That's fair. Yeah. Hey man, good to see you. What are the keycap profiles you like the least? Personally, I do not like that MOA profile. We got some, maybe 4 years ago now, we got some samples of that from the manufacturer who wanted us to sell it. And I just did not get on with it. Like, I just did not enjoy it at all. So we said no. And then there's that profile that looks like a cat head. Don't like that either. It just feels tacky to type on. And I'm also not a huge fan of OEM. It just feels like a bad cherry clone. So yeah, that's how I would see it. Omega Switcher, hey man, good to see you. Been looking for the next profile to try. How does MT New compare to PBS, which is the only one I've tried other than the CWL, and I didn't like PBS. They're very different. I say they're very different. They're not. They're somewhat similar, but not in the ways you'd expect. So sure, they're spherical and things like that. The sculpt on MT New is much easier to handle than the sculpt is on PBS, I find. I think PBS for me is really good for small compact boards that I'm going to shove in my bag and take around with me, so 60% and smaller for me, whereas MT New is probably better for larger builds. So it really depends on where you're going for that. What alternatives do we have to Imager in the UK? I'd like to share a pic of my Windbreaker build. I'm sure you'd like it. Dude, you can post it on the PT Discord server if you want. I look at all the images in there, even if I don't respond or post. I do see them all. You can post it on Instagram and tag me there if you want to do that, and I will reshare it for you, because that's what we do for anyone who does it. If you want to use a website other than Imager to host something, though, I've been using Post Images a lot, which is quite cool. So, and then Dynamics is Post Image. Yeah, there you go. So that's what I've been using too. Right, just to finish off the shilling then, a couple of other things to talk about. So very, very quickly, Jay's Roastery, you want to buy coffee? I sell my own coffee. We do roast our own coffee. I'm drinking the Fiction Blend right now. Chef's Kiss, it's great. If you want a really, really solid, everyday, dependable coffee, this is for you. And then the other thing I want to just shout about as well is I'm doing a mini meet in Bristol. So for those of you who don't know, I'm doing a little road trip in a couple of weeks, depending on funerals and things. And I'm going out to Brighton on Thursday the 19th of this month, and then I'm over in Bristol on the 20th and the 21st. But on the 20th, I'm doing a little mini keyboard meetup, probably at the hotel I'm staying at. I think there's 5 or 10 people that have filled out the form so far. The idea is going to meet between 3:30 and 8 p.m. in the bar in the hotel I'm at, have a few drinks, have a nice chat, talk about some keyboards, look at some keyboards. I'll have a few with me. Then we're going to go out for dinner if anyone wants to join me, or I'm going to go out for dinner and people can join me if they want. I'm going to try and find a nice restaurant. Yeah, you can come along if you're in Bristol and you want to pop along. It's yeah, it might be something you want to do. So let me send you the form link. I think that will work. Let me just check that. Yeah, that should work. That should send you the form link if you were interested in coming to be up in Bristol. So yeah, I'll bring some switches, I'll bring some keycaps, I'll bring some freebies and stickers and stuff like that. And that's on the 19th. So if you want to come and say hello, please do. Right, okay, that's all of that stuff covered. The other thing to say about is PT News. Our next shipment is due to arrive around the 20th into port, so I think it's going to arrive here probably 25th, 27th of March, maybe the first week in April, depending on how quickly we get through customs. There's a lot of stuff in this one, but most of it's for in-stock, I think, rather than for group buys. So keep an eye out for that, because there's a lot of good stuff coming. We'll be dropping a lot in stock in, so save some money. It might be something you're interested in. SA is too tall, try raising your chat room. Nice. Sci-Fi is awesome coffee. I'm glad you like it, Dynamics. I'm glad you like it. The Sci-Fi is a little bit of a lighter roast. The Fiction Blend is what I would classify as a really good coffee for a coffee shop. Like it's inoffensive, it's dependable, it's easy to brew. It's just a really nice chocolatey berry type coffee. It's just really, really nice. The Sci-Fi Blend is a little bit lighter, quite a bit lighter actually. A little bit more aromatic, a little bit more acidity, brings out high notes, better for pour over, but still really good as espresso. So yeah. On the TGR, I'm not a big Instagram poster. Oh, let's look at this together. Wait, hold on. I'm trying to open this and show you guys it. Whoops. Let's have a look. Nice, EC converted Dynacap. Gotta like it. Boom. Look at that. How good does that set look? I love. Oh man, I wish I had that. I do love alpha keycaps, and that windbreaker one is so cute. Love that. What a lovely build, dude. Really, really nice. Yeah, be proud of that one. It's a really nice build. Wait, is it NC or is it ISO? Oh, it's NC. I'll let you off. Okay, cool. Right, we can hide the browser. I guess what put me off PBS was key creative caps I bought didn't seem good quality compared to KKB or GMK. Space bars were like bananas. A lot of the cap stuff is really good, and the SWG stuff is really good. Notorious B.I.G. Yeah, okay, so if you want to talk coffee, go to jaysroastery.co.uk. Let me put the link in chat for you. Oh, there you go, that's the link. It does tell you on here about the coffee type. So the Fiction Blend is what I'm drinking now. Sour berries, sweet vanilla, soft and creamy milk chocolate. And then the light blend is it's medium to light is a fiction blend. It's more of a medium, I'd say, but medium to light is the official category based on the grading of the color of the beans. And then if you want the sci-fi blend, it's much more citrusy and acidic, but with a nice natural sweetness, almost like a plummy type of taste. So it really depends on what you want. But yeah, those are that. And then if you want something that's a little bit more dark, a little bit more rich, a little bit more intense, a little bit more cacao type flavors, then go for the classics blend. And then we also have Hot Romance, which is a hot chocolate, and we also have True Crime blend, which is decaffeinated. That's kind of like a really smooth. The decaf is actually really, really nice as a coffee, because although I don't drink decaf very often, because that's why it's called True Crime, because decaf is a crime against coffee in many ways. But the way we've used the washed process, in like a mountainous wash process to get this, it's come out really, really nice. It's like a dark, chocolatey, kind of rich, aromatic kind of coffee. Very reminiscent of Italian espresso. So yeah. Anyway, but yeah, jaysroastery.co.uk. If you're ordering from overseas, just email me first, because we've not got it set up on the website to order from overseas just yet. But you can email me, and yeah, we can ship overseas if you email me first. Cool. Okay. Right. Where did we get up to on chat? Jay, I'm going to my first week meetup this week. My first meetup next week, this coming weekend. God, that was hard for my brain to get around. My sleep deprived brain could not get around. Next week, this coming weekend, New York City. I'm so excited, dude. Nice. Take some photos, share some pictures. I'd love to see it. Do you think you could send us some coffee for the MKCZ 2026 meetup, please, together with giveaway goodies? Probably. Drop me an email for any sponsorship stuff, and I will always do my best to help out wherever I can. Yeah. Is the bottom row of PBS and PFF always concave? Super excited about Bristol meetup. Already sorted a babysitter. Nice, man. Thanks. I will see you there. It's going to be very small. It's going to be in a hotel bar, and I'm going to drink beer, maybe wine, depending on how I feel, and talk keyboards, and hopefully meet some nice people. But I do have a lot of friends in Bristol as well, so I'm hopeful a couple of those will come around. But yeah, I think the bottom row is always concave, but I'm not 100% certain. I'd have to go back and check kitting, which of course you can do. Don't force me to come. You already did it from Mechanicon. I tried it after. It's really good coffee. Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah. Mechanicon I was hoping to get to, but I did send, I think I sent 8 kilos to David from Candy Keys, something like that. Maybe it was for beer, wine, and keyboards equals win. Yeah, and then food straight after. That's the plan. I still need to figure out what I'm going to do on the Saturday, because I have a party on the Saturday night, a friend's birthday party, which is the reason for going to Bristol. I still need to figure out what I'm going to do on the Saturday during the day until that starts. So if anybody has somewhere for breakfast, like a late lazy breakfast and good coffee, and I am such a coffee snob, so I don't mean like someone who's going to recommend Cafe Nero. I mean someone who can recommend some really good coffee. Drop me a DM, drop me an email, tell me where the best coffee spots are, and I'm going to try and spend the day in Bristol either walking around from coffee shop to coffee shop and have 3 or 4 coffees during the day and see the sights, because I don't know Bristol very well. I've only been there for work a few times. Or if it's raining, I'm going to Uber because I'm lazy. So yeah, have you been to Bristol before? Only for work. We used to have an office there years and years ago, and it wasn't in central Bristol. I think it was in Keynsham or something like that. So I've been to the train station. I did have a friend called Max who lived in Bristol a few years ago, and I went to his house, but it was on a road trip to Exeter, and I saw maybe his street and 2 or 3 others, and he took us to a really nice restaurant, and I don't remember. This is like 10 years ago now. In fact, yeah, it will be. It would have been 2017 actually, so almost 10 years ago. Other than that, no, I have not been to Bristol much. So yeah. Right, I like beer. Still on board. Excellent. Beer is good. Hopefully the hotel has nice beer. I'm staying at the Clayton, which is probably where we're going to do the meetup, unless like 20 people fill out the form, and there's going to be a lot of people. But I think if it's just like 5 or 10, we'll be in the hotel bar, I think. Right. So, if you make it to Bath, you need to visit Watch House Coffee. I don't think we'll be going to Bath, but on the way back, I am going to visit Salopi and Serico, I think. So, yeah. What kind of beer do you prefer? I am beer agnostic. I just like lots of beer. Although I will say, the older I get, the less I like beer that's really gassy and fills me up. I typically tend to drink wine these days because I can drink, you know, a bottle of wine and be fine. And whereas if I drink 4 or 5 beers, I just get so gassy and bloated. So the older I get, the less I do drink beer. But I do love the flavour of beer. So yeah. But I will drink any beer, like whether it's a lager or a pale ale or a real ale or whatever it might be. I'm always into beer. Right, Clifton Village. Nice. I will definitely have a look at that and see if I can find somewhere to go there. Thank you. Right, okay, time to show you guys some stuff. So the first thing we're going to do today is you visited Sloping on Friday. Nice. They're really nice people. James is a good friend of mine. I need to unbox a key set. And that key set is one that we've already seen today. This is GMK Windbreaker. Now, this is in stock on the website, and this came out so good. Look at these colours. Look at the novelties. Such cool novelties. These came out so nice. So nice. Numpad as well. Really bright, really poppy colours. International kit, because who doesn't love a good international kit? And then of course we have the base kit. Now we were the lead vendor for this one, so that's why the Prototypist logo is on the box, which is always really nice. Meldark, hey man, thank you so much for being here. Let's get this set open. And I do need to put this on a keyboard. So you guys are going to get to vote in a second which keyboard. If we have a lovely friendly mod, can you get a poll ready? Just drop a message in chat if there's a mod who can do a poll, and I'll give the details. If I don't see a message in a couple of minutes, I will do the poll myself. Didn't buy the novelties because the base is so vibrant. Didn't see the need for any additional flair. That's fair. Hi, Mr. Jellymaster. Okay, so the two choices of board that you guys are going to have to put this on whilst I unpack it all, that Jellymaster is going to create a poll for, is you can see this board on one of two keyboards. See this key set on one of two keyboards. You can see either on my Argyle, which these are in stock by the way. There are still Argyles in stock with this super cool visible PCB and components you have to hand solder. This is the first option, to put it on this board. Super cool board, the Argyle. The second option is we can take my old TGR Koala, and which TGR kindly made with the Prototypist logo on for me, and we can take Analog Dreams off this, and we can put Windbreaker on this. Now this is a really cool keyboard. Love the colours, and I feel like it might do Windbreaker justice. So that's the poll. There will be a poll in chat in a second, and you guys can let me know which keyboard you would like to see it on. I haven't seen that board for ages. Yeah, it's been tucked in a drawer for a little while. I'll let you guys vote. Just made for each of them. Yeah, the Koala is a really cool board. I think this is going to be no-brainer. But do go buy Argyles, because Argyles are cool, and only the cool kids have Argyles. Just so you know. Okay. Here's a little card. Here's the key set. Look how cool that is. Such a bright, vivid key set. I love this. So cool. And I'm so proud for Praid for letting us be the lead vendor on this one. Thank you so much, Praid. Of course, the second tray, GMK. Oh, we have one key upside down. There we go. Tons of spacebar compatibility. Just so nice. Vibrant. Right, camera does not do it justice. The camera doesn't do it justice, I don't think. It's just such a cool keycap set. So retro, so 80s. It's in stock. You can go buy this right now. You can just go buy it off our website right now. Look, let's take a look. Let's go. Prototypist.net. GMK Windbreaker. There it is. In the flesh. You can pick that up right now. Oh, the international kit has sold out, but And Numpad and novelties don't have much left, but there's plenty of base in stock, so yeah. If you order it today, it will ship tomorrow. Just bear that in mind. Okay, whilst that's loading, and you guys are voting in the poll for which keyboard you'd like to see this go on, I don't think it's even going to be close. I think it's going to be the Koala. I'm just going to take a quick comfort break because my nose is running because it's quite warm in here now, and I'm going to grab some tools. I'm going to leave the camera here with Windbreaker on full display, just for you guys, and I will be back in a minute or two. I'm going to turn the heating off as well. Okay, just grabbing some tools. You see the international kit sold out? Yeah, the international kit did sell out, which is good. It's good, because often international kits don't sell out. Okay, I can't see this not winning now, so I'm going to take the keycaps off this. Have a spare little tub to put these in, because I haven't found out the keycap box for these. Take off the Kapora. Oh. Get these keycaps off. Okay, the Koala has won the poll. Fillet of Fish contributed 5,500 channel points. Well done, dude. Well done. I appreciate that. Okay. Let's get these keycaps off. And then I think I've got a can compressed air just to the side. So once I've got the can compressed air, I will just give the keyboard a quick blast and remove any debris that might be in between the keys, because this was a very heavily used board for a long time. And don't forget, guys, if you've got any questions you'd like to ask me about anything that you see on stream today, or about anything in general, please do ask away, because I'm an open book, and I don't think there's anything you could ask that I wouldn't answer to some extent. Oh, also, would you like to see what Mel did to my tip? For those of you who don't know, Mel is our warehouse manager. Would you like to see what Mel did to my tip? Because she broke it. So I have a model here. This is going to look a little bit untoward. So this is the tip that Mel broke, and this used to sit on here. And this is on the wall in the office, and the idea is that we have the reel of labels when we're making labels sit on here, and this is like it's a flared base for safety. And it's just something I 3D printed out. And Mel was changing the roll of tape. And this has been on the wall for like 3 years. And as she took the roll off, she flicked my tip off. The flared base came off, so I had to 3D print another one. So the model was up here, so I could check the sizes and make sure the screw holes were in the right place and the mounting holes for the wall were in the correct place to remake it. So yeah, Mel destroyed my ripped my tip off. I feel like I need to own a koala. There's not many of them around. I think there's only 20 of them made. I don't think there's many at all. What are your thoughts on the Seal TKL? Do you know, I really think it looks lovely. I'm hoping we'll be able to be the vendor for it because I think it looks great. I really like the Seal range overall. So we'll see. But yeah, I think it looks really, really good, Frankie. What is your favorite Linux distro? Do you know, I don't really have much experience with the Linux. The last time I dabbled with the Linux would have been 20 years ago when Windows Vista came out, or whatever that was. I was dabbling with Linux around then a little bit. I think it was Debian, and I think there was one called Mint that I used a fair bit. I haven't tried any of the modern ones except where they've come on some laptops that we've picked up and things like that. So yeah, I don't know about the new ones, to be honest. What's your favorite cheese? Do you know, I love cheese. Cheese is one of my favorite foods. Cheese addiction is real. Do I have a favorite? Do you know that there is a cheese in the UK called Black Bomber, and it's basically like a really strong Lancashire style cheese from what I understand. But it is just really, really nice. It's really rich and flavorful. It's a little bit crumbly, which I kind of like. But I also like things that are really strong, like a Gruyere or something like that. It really depends on what I'm doing with it. If I'm just eating cheese on bread and crackers, then, you know, something like the Black Bomber is great. Or maybe even something like a brie. If I've got, you know, little bits to dip, then I'm going to be all over anything that's soft and melty, and, you know, camembert or something like that. So I will eat any cheese. I don't think I've ever found a cheese I won't eat. Nothing worse than your tip coming off. Yeah, you are absolutely correct, good sir. Okay, why will my thingy not scroll? There we go. I could not scroll through chat. Points it out, points it in. Yeah. Some people are good at things, right? If you're good at something, you're good at it. 3D print, you not heard of super glue. So I didn't want this. So I did consider super gluing it, but it's the flared base is broken off in kind of like a really weird place. It's kind of broken off right on one of the print lines. It's probably not going to glue very well, because there's not much surface area to glue it onto, and it was just easier to print another one. So, you know, 3D printed parts are kind of designed to be replaceable. That was a plan. Take it easy with the tip, Mel. Yeah, nothing worse than your tip coming off. Exactly. I think those poor analog dreamers deserve a good home. They've had a good home for a long time. They've been on this keyboard for a couple of years now. They are quite heavily shined as well. Jay Saint says, do you have any recommendations in terms of Ergo keyboard, either in stock somewhere or somewhere easy to buy? Got tendonitis, really think of picking one up. I think we still have some Neo Ergos in stock, which would always be my choice. In stock keyboards, I think we have, yeah, Neo Ergos. So we still have some Neo Ergos in stock. They're very, very low on stock, but there are some options in there for you. And then the kitting breakdown is here. But the Neo Ergo is like a really, for the price, it's like, I mean, depending on which kit you pick, you know, it's pretty cheap, and it's a really, really good starter Ergo board. I'd definitely consider one of those and see how you get on with it. And then if you do like it, you can move to something a little bit more expensive later. And I hope that helps. Jellymaster says, how do you balance any personal bias on products that you may not enjoy versus what could sell well for PT? So that's a really, really good question. I I have to look at things in an objective manner, and it's usually twofold the way I look at things. First of all, it's like, does the project appeal to me? Because if it appeals to me, even if it's going to be a bad seller, or might not sell, say for example Windbreaker, then I'm going to be really interested because I like the product and I will try and get it made. Sometimes I can look at stuff and I can think, do you know what, it's not something I like personally, it's not a keycap set that I would put on a keyboard myself, but I can see why other people would like to use it. And I can appreciate something for its quality even if it's not something that I want to use personally. So for example, like I don't ever use low profile boards, but I can see the value in the PFF project, and I think it's absolutely worthwhile making sure that that gets made and that gets sold and that gets distributed to anyone who wants to be able to pick it up. So there is a lot of products that we say no to, whether that's because it comes from a designer who's unproven, or whether it's because I just don't think on either prospect, whether my personal one or, you know, community gut feel, it has the legs to do well with. And some others, I think it's worthwhile giving it a shot. So yeah, it really depends, and there's no straight answer to that. A lot of it goes on gut feel though. But I hope that helps. Good evening, Mr. Pokemon Kid. I hope you're doing well. Maybe I'm not thinking of Gruyere. There's like a French cheese. I feel like maybe it has an R in it or begins with an R. There's like a French cheese that's slightly runny that's really, really strong. You kind of heat it up and you kind of peel it off as you heat it up. It is really, really strong. But I like a tart cheese. What's your favorite ever sports moment and why? My favorite ever sports moment. I'm not big into sports. I'm really not. What's my favorite ever sports moment? There's been like the only sport I've really followed for a number of years is Formula One. I also follow the golf. I think seeing Rory, you know, win some of his tournaments have been massive for me. I don't think there's any one particular sports thing that stands out in my head as wow, that's a really cool thing that I've just seen happen. Or raclette, that is the cheese I'm thinking of. Yes, not Gruyere, raclette. Yes, thank you, Mr. Kille. That is what I'm thinking of. I don't think I can think of any particular sporting event that has changed me as a person, as a favourite in terms of a good thing. I've seen a few things that I've thought were just astronomically bad. I think I watched a lot of the Olympics as well because I always think that's amazing to see what feats humans can do. But I don't think I have any particular favourite ever sporting moment. Like I can't think of anything that jumps out at me. Maybe seeing McLaren win a championship was high up there. Being at Silverstone last year, my first experience of being live at a Formula One race was phenomenal, especially with the people I was there with, Paul and Elias and some of Elias's family. That was amazing. But I can't think of anything major. Like I don't have a brain wired for sports. I think that's the problem there. Kasamazu, I bet that's a cheese you won't eat. I feel like I need to Google this now. Is this the one with all of the mites in it? Because I've had that. Let's have a look. Yeah, the live fly lava and famous thing levels worst most dangerous cheese. I'm pretty sure I've had that. Yeah. I don't think I had Maggotsson whilst it was alive, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I've tried it. It's like really, really strong flavour. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've tried that. Almost has like a almost like a spice to it in a way, but it's a long time since I've had it. So yeah. Right, let me get this is a little bit filthy inside, so I'm just going to get some compressed air to clean it out. I'm going to hold this away from there. I don't want to blow the dust all over here, so I'm going to hold it the other way. Good old beard hairs in the stabilizers. Man, This keyboard has seen some use. This probably needs a rebuild at some point, actually. Probably keep the same switches in it, but it probably needs a rebuild. But there we go, that's much cleaner now. Just for reference. It's still filthy, I know, but please don't judge me. Right, let's get these keycaps on here then. Hi Jay, on the plus key on the numpad, is there interference with the keycap because the switch is rotated 90 degrees? Don't know, we'll have a look. We'll have a look. I think it's Reclette that I'm thinking of, yes. Thank you guys for correcting me there. That's one of the reasons I did Alt-GR, because of the NPR. I didn't want the NPR to be the first time people see one of my project. I have no issues with doing projects with designers for the first time if the product is something that I think will do really well. But yeah. Curling makes me feel alive. I do enjoy the curling events. I did watch the curling. What is it about F1 that I love? Do you know what it is? It's the stats. It's the stats. It's the fact that when I'm watching Formula One, I can look at a million different statistics, and I can look at, you know, past performances, and I can look at driver strengths and weaknesses, and I can... There is always new data to absorb. That might be how many power units a car's had. So it's like you get later on in the season and they're only allowed so many engines per year, and you think, well, Lewis Hamilton's had his 4th engine now. He's going to have to be really careful with the engine going forward. He's not going to be as adventurous. But, you know, Lando Norris has only used 2 engines. He's got 4 available. That means he can be more effective later on. It's that kind of stuff that I really like. The analysis, the detail, the fact that drivers can take different lines through different parts of the track and come out with different results. And there is so much that's up in the air with Formula One. Like it's not just about how good is person A at something. It's like it's a team sport. There's a million different factors to consider, and it's not just a case of who's the best, it's also who's the best at the right team and making the right decisions as a team. That's what I like about it, and I'm sure that that's available in many other sports, but it's something that I particularly find appealing about Formula One. That and the fact that I love anything mechanical. If it's got an engine or parts that move, I'm broadly interested in it. So yeah, and the noise is always good. Okay, we're going to miss out the 2 and the 3 key because we will be using the international kit here. So let's get these keys out now. Okay, I'm just going to fill out the international keys where I need to. Where's the other one? There it is. That's it. Yes, that's it. Okay, I'm going to pick a couple of novelties just because I want to use a couple of the novelties on the board. So I'm going to pick out the old Walkman on the green for F13. I'm not going to use the Super Soaker for ISO enter. I'm just going to use the standard ISO enter key. But I am going to pick out the radios and use those instead of control keys because I think they're cool. And I like the purple colour. So there we go. Right. Hello, Jane. Did I? Is this something I don't know about? UK Tech Blog. We're looking to purchase the last stock of the Neo 65 Core Plus. Can I have a discount? Unfortunately, I can't put discounts on the Neo 65s. I will try and do a discount on almost everything. But like our margin on the in-stock versions of the Neo 65 Core Plus is about £3. That's all we make as gross profit. Net profit, it's a loss already for us. Like we don't make any money on those. Like we sell them basically at cost. So unfortunately, as much as I would love to give you a discount on that, I can't, UK Tech Blog, because I would just be basically paying you to have it at that point. But there are other things. If you're considering some keycaps, maybe we can do something on that. Maybe that will help. Don't forget they do come with free shipping if you spend over 100 quid and you're in the UK as well. But yeah, I will always try and do discounts, but sometimes we just can't, just because of how things are priced. Like we price everything so low and make, you know, we do not have healthy profit margins. We have barely profit margins here at PT. I hope that helps though. Seeing South Africa win our first Rugby World Cup back in '95 was an amazing experience. Meant so much for our country back then. It was really, it really united a fragmented nation. Nice. That's a really cool little anecdote. I didn't think of it like that way. Watching Italy win the 2006 World Cup would be mine. A very happy memory. Can you use compressed air to play panpipes to the flute? I mean, I'm sure you could. I've never tried. I was trying to think if there's anything else sporting-wise that's really jumped out at me, but I'm not like nothing's coming to mind, which tends to suggest there isn't anything. I mean, there's been stuff that's inspired me in sports, like watching figure skating years ago, when in the mid-90s, was always really interesting to me. But I think Formula One is the biggest thing. And the only other sport I really follow is the golf, and that's passive rather than active. Magical Dive to win versus Australia in that cup is on my list of least favourite. Fair enough. They need a little fraud to win. And yet we all want more Alt-GR. Yeah, unfortunately, like we still have loads of Alt-GR in stock, but I would love to make it like more common in base kits. I would love to do that. So yeah, so you can always pick it up this year. Jay, is this Ferrari's year? Please let it be our year. Are we putting our little bet on again this year, Alvi? Are we gonna have our little bet? So for those that don't know, last year Alvi said he would take me on a tour of Maranello factory if Ferrari won the championship. So I'm more than happy to do that again, if you'd like. Perhaps I need I can't remember what my penance was going to be last time. I think it was just going to have to be going down to the Ferrari factory. But we can do that again if you'd like. We can definitely do that. Cricket is the ultimate stat lover sport. Do you know? I get that. I just don't gel with cricket in general. Not because I don't like cricket, but I guess I don't know. Like there's just I don't know. I think the pace of play is a bit slow for me. Yeah, I think the pace of play is just a little bit slow. I think that's what it is. Yeah, if the pace of play was a little bit faster with cricket, I think I've seen some of the one-day international stuff. I think that's a little bit more my kind of thing. The 2020 stuff, I think, but yeah, I think cricket's just a little bit too slow. Okay, almost there now. I'm going to shift over to the bottom row. Need my little trusty shift key here. And then 7 new space bar. I'm going to go for the pink ISO enter. Step caps lock. And our standard alt key. And there we have it. That is my, look how beautiful that is. That is my TJR Koala with GMK Windbreaker. What a great looking board that is. Maybe we should put that on the desk now actually. Let's take the Kafka out. Well, that was delayed Windows. Right, let's get the keys in here. Viva Italia. Same reason me and the wife are F1 fans, it's all the complexities involved. Australia really show how awesome battles can be with the new cars. Yeah, I enjoyed that, yeah. Shark, hey man, thanks for being here. This is a great pairing. Thanks, dude. I think that looks fantastic. It just looks so good. Have you tried watching the WEC? McLaren getting in on that next year so you have a team to follow. I've seen a lot of the WEC stuff, but I haven't followed it. I think it's something I could get into if I had more time to follow things. But like, time is my biggest weakness in life. I have not enough time to do everything my brain wants me to do. So maybe I could get into the WEC at some point. How do you feel about martial arts? Do you know? I studied Taekwondo from being 8 to being 18 for a good 10 years. I have not thought about it for probably the best part of 20 years now, but I did do it for a long time. I found martial arts were really good for a couple of things. When I was younger, and I wasn't diagnosed with ADHD until a few years ago, and I think one thing that I did find was that having like a real structure to training, because I was very heavily into the gym between 16 and 22, but I think that came from doing martial arts twice a week, 3 times a week when I was younger, and having that strict training structure really helped me. And it's only with hindsight that I understand that it's because of the ADHD that I have, or that I have is an awful way of putting it, because I'm because I have ADHD. Yeah, I think I didn't realize at the time that I needed structure, and I don't think anyone else around me realized it. But I think that's why I gelled with it for so long, because it gave me a structure that I didn't know I needed, and I still carried a lot of the lessons through that. So one of the big things for me is in Taekwondo. You can agree whether Taekwondo is a real martial art or not. I'm not really fussed for that. I'm not going to defend it, and I'm not going to shit on it either. That's up to you guys to think what you want of it. But one of the things that I have is, one of the tenets is that you have an indomitable spirit. In other words, your spirit can't be broken easily, and you can always bounce back. And I've always tried to live to that ideal, even without realizing that I was. Resilience is something that's sadly lacking in many people's lives, and not through any fault of their own. It's just, it's just part of the way that the world structures you to be these days. But I don't watch it. Double check you haven't spelled it. Martial law. Sorry for asking if that's the case. No problems with you asking. Anyone can ask for a discount on anything. Some things we just can't do discounts on some things. I wish we could do discounts on everything, but we basically already sell everything at a discount. That's why our prices are so low. Stayed up all night to watch the UFC last night. I'm a tired boy. Yeah, I've never really watched the UFC and stuff like that. I've seen some fights. I do watch a lot of boxing, actually. I've watched boxing for a long time. I think the first fight I ever watched was Lennox Lewis back in the 90s. So I have always watched the boxing, especially the heavyweights, but yeah. I was pleasantly surprised by DHL. I delivered my last pass in 24 hours. A bit worried after UPS dropped as an option because of past experiences. Hopefully keep it up. DHL are insanely good. I've not had much of an issue from DHL for any product, or any shipments yet. So yeah, hopefully that will continue. I've shifted back to enjoying MMA to being wanting to watch judo and BJJ. Something around the striking blood just not landing with me anymore. That's fair. I think grappling is quite nice to watch sometimes, because it's it's a certain type of skill set that's not necessarily just about striking. I'm down for the wage game. Good excuse to see Marinello too. I tell you what, Alvi. I tell you what. How's this for a wager? If and we'll do this one either way round, and this is recorded live on stream, so someone get ready to clip this. If Ferrari finish ahead in the Constructors' Championship, you take me to Maranello. If McLaren finish ahead of Ferrari in the Constructors' Championship, I will take you to Woking, to the McLaren Technology Centre. How about that? How about that? I think that sounds like a good thing. It's not that I dislike the cricket dynamics, it's just that I don't have the time for it. I really don't. I think if I had more time, I could probably get into it, or if it went faster. 2020 is a bit more exciting. Yeah, I've seen that and it looks good. I've just dropped the card on the floor. A very fun pairing. I'm so stoked with that. Look how good that looks. Oh, the red key is pink. The pink and the pink. Yeah, it looks so good. Super stoked with that. Looks really good. Makes me love that board all over again. At least DHL have an out for delivery status. Not sure what they're thinking of delivering a parcel in a UPS box. So, I mean, it's because we have a load of UPS boxes. We have an absolute ton of UPS boxes, and I don't want to burn them or waste them. I would happily recycle them and just use them to pack stuff in. So when the UPS boxes have run out, we will have to start ordering our boxes again because DHL don't provide them for free, or certainly not in a size that's useful for us. But we have like 1,000 UPS boxes or more, maybe 2,000. So we're going to absolutely use those rather than just destroy them, because I don't see the point in destroying them when they're perfectly fine boxes. And plus, it's free advertising for UPS, so they should be happy about me using their boxes. So I hope that makes sense. But that's my decision. So yeah. How about this? If you win, Jay, nothing. If Alvy wins, trip for him. Wait, what? That's a risky wager. Well, one of us is taking the other one to something either way, right? If I win, I do nothing. If Alvy wins, trip for him. Wait, what? I don't understand. So if I win, we don't do anything. But if Alvy wins, no, that's not fair. It's got to have consequences both ways. That's how a wager works, GBB. You stay away from the Pizza Express in Woking. Fair. No, we haven't got to the Numpad build yet. What happens now with the Bahrain Grand Prix if the situation doesn't get better? I suspect they'll cancel it. So yeah, it looks almost identical to my wife's board. Nice, dude. Nice. I'm glad. It looks great. It looks fantastic. Recycle, reuse. I keep the UPS boxes you send me to send my coffee pods back for recycling. Nice. I'm glad you reuse them. I would much rather people recycle and reuse boxes than destroy them. You know, they're good quality boxes, so let's use them and use them and use them. Absolutely the best thing to do. Yeah, there's got to be consequences, GBB. So yeah. I will take Alvy to Woking and to the McLaren Technology Centre if McLaren beat Ferrari in the Constructors' Championship, and if not, we'll go to Maranello, and that can be Alvy's guided tour. I think that's a great compromise. Right, okay, we've looked at Windbreaker. You've helped me put it on a keyboard. It's now time to look at the NPR. So let me clear some space on the desk. Dust off the mat. I have got some little bits of the potato trays from GMK on there. Right, and this is the NPR. Now I haven't unboxed this. I have no idea how the boxing is done, but it's well, let me I am going to just open this just here, but the box is sealed. I just don't want to show the return address on here because it has the designer's address on it. So I'm just going to open it, but you are watching me open it for the first time. It seems like a really big box for a Numpad, so I'm not sure what to expect in here. And there are some notes that I need to dig out. Okay, so first of all we have a PCB. Second we have a box here. I'm not sure what's in that, we'll have a look in a second. Then we have a box here. We might need to have a look at that one as well. I'm not sure if they're just packing or otherwise. But then in the middle there is another box. And this is the. I think that's everything in the box. Here it is. Well, first things first. That's a rather impressive box showing you the dimensions of the product. Numpad Retro. Nice little logo on the side. So this is obviously this is a unit that's already been built by someone else, but we're going to be rebuilding it. So colorway silver, it's a raw alloy weight, proudly designed in France. Baggery Flat Brains logo on the base. I do like this box design. I like the fact that it's got the view from each angle on the sides of the box. Let's that is just an empty box. That is just an empty box. I just wanted to check. And here is the Numpad. PCB. This is the spare PCB. So let's take it open and have a look at it. Lovely vintage retro style card. Reminds me of old VHS card players. Layout choices, things like that. Nice. It really does remind me of old VHSs. And here is the thing itself. This thing is a chunk. There's more to come in the box. I love this fin design. It's very aesthetically pleasing, and the way the seam is kind of like kicked up at the end. If you haven't already considered picking one of these up, maybe you should. This rounded front edge, super nice, super retro. The highlight of the fact that it's got a seam there as well with the machining shape. Super nice. Looks like a duck's head on the side. Like the head, eye here, long beak, maybe. I don't know. And then on the base, we've got this lovely raw machined alu base, plenty of feet for grip, and of course screw points as well. A red plate in there looking nice too. Has a few scuffs, sorry for that, it took some extensive testing. That's fine, man. This is I believe this is raw alu. You can see it's got some scuffs on it because it was it's been heavily tested as Baggy was just saying, but yeah. Super nice. Looks great. I need this thing in my life. Like look at its presence on the desk. It just commands presence, right? It just screams, I am here. Love the signed card actually. Me too. I really like it. Oh, my chat's crashed again. Why is the chat crashed? Come on. I can't scroll. There we go. I do like the mouse pad for the NPR. Might pick one up. Nice. I do that wager on champion rather than standing. Like if McLaren when I get a tour in the UK, Ferrari when you get a tour of manual. Okay, we can change it to that. Like I'm not gonna. Like, obviously, I'll pay for my flights to Italy. It's just a Maranello tour, right? This isn't just an Numpad. That's why. Yeah. Did you get the out? Yeah, I think we've talked about that. Really similar vibes to the T9. Feels like it needs to be paired. Yeah. Is similar sort of vibes to the T9. I think yours is with Salopian. I think. I was hoping I'd hate it. I don't. Yeah, you can't hate it. You gotta buy it, guys. Now, no choice. Is it like orange or red? It's like it is an orange color, but it looks almost red. But like you can see there, light. It's orange. It's really hard to tell under the streamlights, I know, but it's like it's an orange color, as you can see. On the box, I just want to show out some other points as well. Look at this. Look at that style. Super nice. Just nice all over. I think there's some more parts in the bottom here. Let's take a look. Oh no, there is a lot of parts. Oh, we don't need the spares. We'll put them to one side. Lots and lots of parts. Right. Let's oh, do you know what? I've moved my screwdrivers to the other side of the room because I was using them for the 3D printer. Let me just grab those. Let's take the case apart and let's get this build underway. No carrying case? No, the box is just really nicely molded. So the box has got like molded foam inside. Come on. See? Not sure why you'd want to put something like this in a carry case. Okay, let's see if we can figure out how to assemble this thing. Torque screws. I think it looks like a T10. Let's see if I can find a T10. Is the plate orange or red? Yeah, it's orange, yeah. It's a gorgeous colour, yeah. I think the orange one is, you sent me a link to the build guide. Thank you, dude. Thank you. Let me have a look and see if I can find that. Cool. I have that open and in front of me. Okay. I still don't know if I go black or silver. I hate you a bit. Well, I haven't seen what the black one actually looks like, so other than the renders. So I guess that's kind of up to you. But I think the silver looks great. Can you put the koala next to it? Yeah. Let me finish taking these screws out, and then I'll show you. So this is a pretty standard size TKL. Is that good enough for you? Does that help? Hopefully that helps. Maybe it should be a little bit more like that to line the bottom rows of keys up here and here. Looks good. Hope that helps. I do love this. This is so cool. Right, okay, let's follow the build guide to make sure I'm doing it correctly. So if you guys haven't seen the build guide, let me put the link in chat to it actually, so you guys can follow along. There you go. That is, I know it's a long link, but that is the link. It's very IKEA-esque, is the build guide. So let's take a look. Right, okay. So I believe the batteries are already in here. Let's take this fully apart so we can see. And there's a few things I want to talk about with the machining itself that I'm noticing. Out. Let's take the plate out as well, and then I can just show you guys a few bits. Oops. I do like that all the screws are so far the same size as well. That's a nice touch. Of course, top mount is the best mount, so that's good too. Okay, so take a look at the top case. A couple of things I want to show you really nicely. This is a huge chunk of aluminium this has to be milled from. It's basically a rectangle that's, you know, broadly that in size, right? And it then has to be milled down. So you draw a rectangle across here, down, across, and then back up there. That has to be milled down to reflect this. And just on the insides, a couple of things I want to talk about. These are super nice on the inside. This little grill. Often you'd expect it to be quite poor on the inside, but it's been finished super, super nicely. Posts, really nicely done as well. You can see where in here, the tool pathing is really, really difficult to get to. So it almost looks like it's been welded in there, but it's just because you can't get a tool in there at that angle to mill it nicely. So that's kind of expected to be there. Force brake pads, these are pre-installed from the previous build, but just nice to call out. Everything else though is milled super, super nicely. Super, super straight. Really nice. Just looking at this piece as well. Again, all milled nicely. The pockets on the bottom, super clean. Again, super clean here. I do love this detail that this is kind of like a rectangle that's been embedded and twisted inside. So that's almost like that's level for it. And that's where the plate and PCB sit above. It's kind of raised up here, so you get a really nice even sound. And then it's just been tilted and the case has been made thicker to accommodate that. Really, really like it. You can see it's just proud here, maybe 1.5 mil. Super, super nice. The weight as well, you can see how the pocket's been milled out. It's got the mill lines on there. All of the connection points. NPR logo on the back. Really, really nice. So let's put this back together. I'm just going to pop the battery in like so. And then as we line that up, we're going to pop the JST cable through for the battery. And line that up. Plug the cable through, just like so. And then we can screw that together. I'm feeling I need to get a raw one and get it silver coated Akira red. That'd be pretty cool. Biological rainy day fund. Oh, rainy day fund. Okay, gotcha. There we go. Also, I didn't point out, but the logo is there as well. Bag Revive Flat Brains. Nice. Okay, so build guide tells us to put the battery in first and then screw that down, which we've done. And then it tells us to install the feet. Now the feet are already installed. We have one here and then 3 here, so it's got plenty of grip. That's already done. Next, it's time for stabilizers into the PCB. We haven't had a look at the PCB yet, but let's pop this back together so we take up a bit less space. There's a few different things to note here. That is the USB port, and it is proud of the daughter board. Instead of coming out on the daughter board this way, it's actually vertical, and that's so it can go through when we get here, so it can come through here at the right angle. We'll have a look at that shortly. All the cables, lots of other good bits that we'll need to take a look at soon. Spare screws and standoffs. Internal parts as well that we'll take a look at in a minute. Plus knobs, buttons, things, and the other driver board. And here is the PCB. This looks really well considered and super clear on what it's trying to be, the style and the vibe. Love a project which is so tight on core message and execution. Yeah, me too. It's really, really nice. Okay, so we're going to need the plate, we're going to need the PCB, because the first job is to put our stabilizers in here. Now, I'm going to use Night V4 stabilizers, but we're going to build this in the standard layout. So we're just going to have the standard full-size 0, assuming the plate supports that, it does. Full-size Enter, full-size Plus, and then the rest of them 1U keys. So it's SMD and through hole, so it's very robust for those concerned about the cable weight on the USB and angle. Nice. Grab some stabilizers. And as I say, we are going to use Night V4s here. So we are going to be doing, if I got the plate the right way, full, full, and full. So we need 3. 1 set of housings, 2 set of housings, 3 sets of housings, 1 wire, 2 wires, 3 wires, so now we need 3 sets of sliders. Sliders are always really hard to find in this tub. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 more needed, 5 and 6. Put these away now. Leave a little pack of screws out. Loop pen has gone. I should be here. There we go. One Jim K Boho Numpad set left. Unfortunately, I don't own that. I'd have to buy it out of stock to use it. So that's not something we'll be doing today, unfortunately. I will figure out a Numpad to put on it. I'll let you guys pick one in a few minutes time after we finish the build. I've just realised I have not assembled these, so we'll just do that now. Come on, Jay. Work smarter, not harder. Go. Just going to pop the sliders in the housings so they're all ready to go. I can just pick them straight up. It's a loop pen. Yeah, we have these in stock. We have 2 5 grade 0. We're waiting for this one, which is the BDZ XHT, to go back in stock. Yeah, we have them in stock right now. Just search loop pens on the website and they should come up. we have an oil one as well. If I just click on the website, and if you just go to the search bar, and if you search for lube pen, help if I typed it quickly, you'll see that we have lube pens in stock here. We have 205 grade 0 in stock, and I think we have 105 ones that are going to go in stock as well. So just watch out for those in the next couple of days, and we're waiting for a restock of the XHT BDC, which is this one, and the 3203 as well. But yeah, you can get the 205 grade 0, which is great for switches and for stabilizers, in stock right now, and it's just £9 including VAT. There you go. I hope that helps. Why did I get rid of that screen? I did that completely the wrong way. Right, yes, let's finish putting these together. I love my kidneys. Yeah, I like my kidneys too, but I'd sell them for this. If anyone does buy one of every colour, and you're in the UK, I will hand deliver the package for all of them to your door. I don't think anyone would actually do that, but I will keep my promise of doing that if you do. Looks like it supports a lot of layout options. It does. If you look on the product listing, there's kind of like a lot of different options because it supports full size normal numpad, southpaw numpad, and a few other combinations as well, of like 1 U caps instead of 2 U. I need a BDZ lube pen as well as a BDZ syringe. Yeah. Any way to buy empty ones? No, because there's no way to refill them, unfortunately. They'd be more expensive to make them without the lube in them, I suspect, and make them refillable. They'd probably be like triple the price to make them reliable. It's not Gridfinity, but it's a very similar system to Gridfinity. It's actually these trays that this has all my stabilizer bits in it. But effectively they're like a large tray, and they have individual boxes that go in them. It's Alexander Chappelle's system. I have another one here with tools in, and then I have these in some of my IKEA Alex straws, which are over in the corner. But yeah, it's his Modubox system. It's slightly better for me in terms of usability than the Gridfinity stuff, but of course, you know, there's multiple different versions of that kind of thing now. I mean, we do 4 different types of lubricant in these pens, but they're not refillable, unfortunately. Like to make them refillable is just it's another engineering challenge that comes with time, cost, and money challenges. So unfortunately, not. Okay, almost finished lubing these up. Of course, if you guys have got any questions, please do ask in chat. If you have a question about the product, I'm sure someone else has the same question as well. Okay, let's get these installed on the PCB now. These are screw-in stabilizers, so I'm just putting a washer on the screw just to make sure we don't short anything out. And then just installing the screws directly into the PCB, making sure we're holding the stabilizer in place firmly with one hand and then screw the screw in with the other. Remember, you're not trying to crush the PCB when you're putting these in, you're just trying to hold it in place, so you just want to go finger tight, and then maybe a 1/4 turn more just to secure it. Okay, we're just going to put the 0, 1 in. Whoops. Okay, last one. The right side of the stabilizer. Come on, Jay, you've done this before, you know what you're doing. Okay, and that's the stabilizers all installed. I'm gonna sneeze. Bless me. Okay, cool. Right, let's follow the build guide as well. The next job it tells me to do is to turn it over and then feed. Oh, we're going to solder on 2 wires here. Okay, so let's figure out which wire we need to solder on. Thank you. There's a bag full of wires here, but I've noticed there's another bag of wires there as well, but I think this is the one we need. So, what we're going to do here is we're going to solder on the battery port, which is just there, and that means we need to do the red wire to the plus and the black wire to the negative. So, let's get our soldering iron ready. These will be replaced by a JST connector to the final production, so they won't have to be soldered. Nice. This will be even easier in production. I do have some salt here as well. Okay, and we want the cable to go into this side and be through to the other side. So let's line up the positive cable first. Now, usually I would either use some helping hands here or have some tape on hand. I don't think I have either, so I'm just going to hopefully try and pin the cable down. So I'll just solder this spot, and hopefully that'll be good enough for a mechanical connection. Soldering it on would be fun, but I also understand why it wouldn't be included in the final. It makes things a lot more difficult for customers. It's another failure point, so yeah, I can completely understand why it's not. Okay, so that's the positive wire installed. Now let's do the negative wire. I just want to try and make sure I get the cable in the same orientation so that both halves want to follow themselves nicely. And I say normally I would tape this on and then use the tape to hold it in position to solder it, but I don't have any tape to hand, so I'm just going to have to do it the silly way, but it should be okay for a prototype. There we go. check that's all connected. And there we go. It's now nice and neatly soldered into position. Okay, next job we have to do is, with the PCB turned the correct way up, install some other parts. This is probably the most... Jay, trying to get rid of the bloody cable. What are you doing, idiot? This is probably the most involved build for a Numpad I've ever had to do. But that's not a bad thing. I like this. Okay, so it looks like we're putting these clear posts in next. I think. That's what it looks like. Wait, we have to solder these? Oh, it's not the posts at all. It's this is LEDs. Do we have LEDs? Did I see them in the kit anywhere? Perhaps. Oh, we don't. We do. We have the LEDs here. So many little bits and bobs here. Okay, so now we have to install the two LEDs, and these are going to go into the numlock keys here and here. And on LED, the long leg is the positive. So we're just going to install these that way around. So what I'm going to do is hold the LEDs in place. Solder one leg in, but not fully solder it, just kind of partially solder it on each side. And then reheat it and pull the LED flush. So I'm just going to solder one side like so. And now we're just going to mine this cable out of the way. Just going to lay that down with the mouse. So now we've done that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to basically pull the LED so it's flush with the housing where it needs to as I'm heating that leg up. And then once that's nice and installed, let go, and then we're going to come back and we're going to solder the other side. And then now we have a nice flush LED on that one side. And we're going to do the same on the other side. So we're just going to hide that cable out of the way for a second. We're going to heat up the leg that we soldered, and as we heat it up, we're just going to pull it just so it's nice and level. And then once that's in place, we're just going to solder the other leg. Making a mess of that. I'm doing it at a very, very dodgy angle. Try and come around this way. Oops. There we go. And there you go, you can see it. They are nice and neatly installed, nice and flush with the PCB. And then we can just take some flush cutters and just trim the legs so they're nice and short. And there you go, you can see very neatly soldered on both sides. Super straight, super tidy. Okay. Right, we're on page 7 now. Time to get the plate and install that, and then switches. Great. my favorite part. So today I want to use lane switches because I just feel like they're going to be a really good option for this. If you haven't tried lanes, these are like almost like an Alp style tactile switch. I'm just going to install the first couple into the plate first, make sure they're nice and clicked in, just like so. And then we're going to install these into the PCB. Solder the diodes over the switch. Not sure I have to do any diodes. Oh, for these? No, the Gateron switches all. They have a hole in the bottom for the LED. See? Okay, just put the couple more in for the middle, just to make sure everything's nice and supported. And then we're just going to align that up to the plate and make sure that's all installed nicely. And we can continue to install the switches just like so. The 0 key there. Then these are correctly rotated, I believe. Well, that one doesn't want to hold in, so we might have to solder one leg of each of those because the plate doesn't quite hold them. Might have to come back to those afterwards and do them one at a time, but we'll see. Yeah, they're just going to come out. Let's just not do those now. We'll do those one by one at a time when we're ready to do them. Okay, there we go. That's our switches installed, all nice and flush with the PCB. Time to solder them in, I think. Let's check. We don't have to do anything else before we solder it in. Nope, I think that's good. Right, let's get our solder on. Again, I'm just going to pin my mouse cable out of the way, and we'll move that around as we need to get the soldering done. These really nice pads. Sometimes you have switches and pads on PCBs that just don't want to accept the solder, but this is working really nicely. Working our way up through the Numpad itself, and then we'll do the solder points underneath that cable in a minute. Just work our way around. What a fun little project this is. If you're new to soldering, this is probably the perfect first device to try it on. Like, it's really easy to solder. It's a nice little project to build. Not really too much to go wrong. Hardest part is going to be soldering on that cable for most people. And of course you don't have to do that anyway because it's going to be a JST connector. Okay, So I'm just going to move this cable out of the way and just come in for the switch that we've got there. And then what I'm going to do for the switches that we've not put in, for the stabilized switches, I'm just going to put a blob of solder in one of the switch holes for each one. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to install the switch whilst heating up that pad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line the switch up with where it needs to go. And then I'm going to install it by heating that pad, and that's just going to hold it in place, just like so. Like that. And then we're going to do the other one, and then we'll go back and resolder all of the points. And that just makes it a little bit easier to get the switch in and in the correct position. He says as he's struggling to do this second one. Come on. Struggling to line this one up. There we go. That just means the switches are in place and held in position. Resolder that pin that we just soldered. Check that those are nice and straight and square and flush. That looks good. And then we can go back and solder the second pin. There we go. I believe that's our soldering done. But never mind. Never mind, like I'll find some more in a second to do. Okay. And then we have our soldered numpad. We're ready to go inside the case. Oh, both light up. I didn't say that. I did think that. I figured they were both addressable independently. Yeah. Okay. Maybe you just need a little bit of disclaimer in that, in the guide. Okay. So we've done that. Right. Okay. Next job is actually some more soldering, I think. Unless this is already built up. Let's have a look. So now we're moving on to the driver board. And the first thing we need to do is install. I don't actually know what this is. It doesn't tell me on it what it is either. I cannot read the text on that, it's too small. Okay, but we are installing it facing this way around. That's kind of like an L shape. That's going this way around. Transistor for the solenoid. Okay. And we want to install this so it's flat. Okay, so we're going to install it, and then we're going to bend the pins so that it lays flat. So let's do that. Just like so. Well, Roshan, you can make an order right now and we'll ship it out tomorrow if you want it. If you are into Windbreaker, we can ship it right out. And there we go, that's that nicely soldered in. You can see it's nice and flat. Camera please. And solder it in place, and then I think we can clip these legs. There we go. Okay, next up we have Oh, the rotary encoder to install. Excellent. Okay. Oh, we had 2 parts. We had 2 rotary encoders as well. So let's see how we need to align this up. Oh, this just needs to be flat, but it can be either way around, I believe. So this just goes in here like so, and that becomes our rotary encoder. Flip that over and then solder each of those points in as well. Oh, everything's ×2 for Bowl's build. Gotcha, gotcha, yes. I'll be really sad when I have to ship this off to Bowl. I hope you're all going out and doing a buy of this, because this is such a great little project. Okay. That is our rotary encoder. They are Gator on lanes, yes. Gator on lane switches. Okay, rotary encoder installed. Soldering done. Again, nice and neat, even if I do say so myself. Okay. Next we've got some dip switches to install. So, we're going to install this switch, and it tells me to take the cap off this and to throw it away. So let's get a tiny little, it literally says to throw it away in the guide. Let me just get a tiny screwdriver and prise the side of this off.
Incredible.
Don't bend this too far position. Looks like I'm gonna have to. I don't want to break anything, so I'm just being very, very gentle here. Well, the reason I use them is because they're an Alps style switch, effectively. There we go. Recycling. Cool. And then here we have the button as it remains, which is a toggle switch. Okay, so now we're going to install that. I think it doesn't matter which way around we install it. That's going to be installed into here. So just make, whoops, just going to make sure that's nice and flush, just like so. Then we're going to solder this in. I think I'm just going to solder 1 point first, and then once I've soldered 1 point, I'll reheat that point up and make sure it's fully installed, like we did with the other switches. You're hot? You are. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to push and hold as I reheat that pin up, just to make sure it's fully installed, and then let it cool down on its own once I know it's all straight and level. And now I can go ahead and solder the other 2 points. Time for bed. Take care, man. I'm sure if you started the DHL man at 20, I'm sure it could be lost in shipping. Yeah, I'm too honest for that, unfortunately. Okay, so that's nice and neatly soldered as well. All 3 connection points soldered. Looking good. I have to wait until the end of the month to buy this, but I'm so stoked for this thing. I know that some of the steps aren't part of the regular, but I love all the parts that go into this thing. Just makes for a killer experience. Yeah, I can thoroughly enjoy making this. Thoroughly enjoying making this right now. Right, now we can install the orange switch head onto the switch there. So, the rocker switch head here, which looks great. Now this does have some scuffs on the other side. I suspect someone else has tried to install this at some point. And we need to make sure that the dot is on the downward side. Okay, this is quite stiff. Okay, that's now installed and now works as a really nice little functioning switch. Okay, next job is to put the rotary encoder knob on. Now this should have a grip screw. I'm wondering where that grip screw is. It's in here. You could put a bit of Krytox on the rocker pin if you wanted to. I've never thought that a switch would need it. The switches are internally lubricated anyway, usually with like a long-lasting Teflon, so but I'm sure you could do if you wanted to. Now there are washers in here as well, so I'm going to try and take out a single grub screw and washer. Okay, I did not get the washer. Oh man, these washers are so tiny. There we go. Put the washer on the grip screw, and then we're going to find a screwdriver that's the right size. Washer was for step 14 of the rocker cap. Those screws are for the solenoid. The rotary takes an M3 like the rest. Oh, okay, I did not see the washer step in there, but yes, you are right. Okay, I will skip that and we'll just pretend that it's done. Okay, I won't use the washer. I'll put it back in the bag in a second. And the rotary takes an M3, did you say? Where did that screw go? It's there. It is there. For some reason, the grip screw is not grabbing in it. Did you say it takes an M3 and the grip screw is not for this? Is that what you're saying? Screws are for the solenoid. Ah, okay. Okay. Right. So that's just me not reading again. Right. So M3 screw. Makes sense why the cutout for it is so large now. Gotcha. I'm just going to install the screw. And then I will tighten it up whilst it's in situ. So I'm going to pop that on to the encoder. Hold it down nice and flush. All working nicely then. Right. Okay, now we're going to flip this over and oh, this is the solenoid screws. Okay, so now we're going to attach the solenoid to the base. So you have the solenoid here. It has two screw holes there and there. We're going to align those up onto the base and then use the little grip screws I had before. Where did I put the first one? I should have put it in the tray, I didn't. And then there are tiny Torx screw. I'm just going to grab a tiny Torx head. See if that works. That's too small. Torx all. Okay, second screw. I'm just going to go in there like so. We're just going to install the cable. Just like so. He says, struggling to get it to align. There's actually, the actual cable here is slightly twisted, so the socket is slightly twisted. See if we can get that to plug in. Okay, that should be good. Tells us to route the cable around that way, so let's do that. Those are the underscrews that are not M3 in the build because the pre-tool holds in solenoid component, unfortunately. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, and now we're back onto the case. Now the next step is to actually install these, the force brake mod, but they're already installed, so we don't need to worry about that. But the next thing we're going to do is install the switch plate assembly into the case. And we're going to use those lovely M3 screws to reconnect that back up. Let's just tidy up a little bit here. That's one done. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I feel like there's a lot of people just tuned out of this build because it's quite a complex one. So if you guys are still watching, let me know. Come on, I have to use 2 hands for this one. We are locked in, still here. Okay. Okay, and there we go. That is that all nice and neatly installed. The wire's still all good. Okay, next up we need to install the daughter board. So this is going to be the standard daughter board, which is here. And as you can see, it does have a vertical USB hub on it rather than the standard horizontal one. We're going to install that with some spacers first, I believe. Oh, we're just going to put the spacers in first. Okay, so there are some brass spacers in here. We're just going to install these first. We'll just install these finger tight. No need to get a little spanner out for these, or a socket driver. But actually, maybe I do have a socket driver that will fit them. Is it going to be this size? Slightly larger. Slightly larger still. Still slightly larger, okay. I don't use these very often. There we go. So this is like a nice little socket driver. And you can see it just sits in the end. And then we can use that. Whoops. It says we can use that to install it. We can't. We can use that to drop it on the floor. Okay, that's nicely installed. And then next we're going to install the rubber sheeting. And we're just going to put that down into the gap. And then we're going to line it up with all of those lovely milled ridges so it sits nicely. like so. Okay, next up now we are going to take that daughter board and we're going to install it. So we're going to put that into here and then use those M3 screws that are in the pouch. Just to line that up. And that's then now going to give us a really nice flush USB-C connector. Excellent. Okay, next up we're going to put those light pipes in that we had earlier on. There's 3 of these. I'm going to need a guide of how to repack this for Bowl. How much disassembly do I need to do for Bowl? Okay, light pipes are installed. You can see them just there, nice 3 even. And then we're going to take this this daughter board and we're going to install it just like so. We're just going to use some more of these screws just to secure that down nicely. Again, don't be screwing this in too firmly. You don't want to crack and damage the daughter boards. What a piece of kit this is. I absolutely love this. I'm absolutely adoring this build right now. And this is going to give you guys the first example of what this is actually going to look like now. As we flip this over, you can see how that little rocker button comes through, and then also how the rotary encoder is all lined up and is limited to turn just to those 3 settings. There's like the way the case is milled on the inside, there's like a blocker. It's very difficult to show you, but there's like a blocker stopping it rotating around, which is really, really cool. In fact, it's shown in the build guide. The build guide shows what the rocker does, so I'll let you guys take a look at that. Right, next up we need another cable, and this time we need this little JST cable, and we're going to run this from here up to the USB port. It's going to go into here. And that's going to go into there. How you put the cable for the USB PCB, just like so, there to there. And that's going to channel through the central gap here. So we'll tuck all these down. I think on my personal one, I won't do it for this one because obviously I have to dismantle this and send it to Bowl. On my personal one, I'll probably use some sort of little cable ties to keep that all tidy and neat. Okay, have I missed a step? I may have missed a step. No, I thought I'd missed a step. Okay, this cable now is going to come through and round. This shows us connecting to a connector that's not there. Okay. Oh, it connects to this cable, I see. Oh no, that's a secondary cable. Such a well considered kit. It is. I am slightly confused here now though, because let me show you. Let me just copy and paste this into my browser I can share with you. So where I'm up to now is step 27. Let me show you. So it shows here that this cable is connected to a little connector here underneath the solenoid. I do not see that on here. It should be there. It's not there. So I'm not quite sure where that's supposed to connect to. Female JST will connect to the battery when you close the build. Oh, I see. So it connects straight into the battery. Got you. Got you. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yes, got you. It does show it connecting in here, though. Sorry. Yes, it does show it connecting here. Might be something to consider if that's wrong, updating it. But yes, I see what you mean now. Got you. Yeah. Okay. So that means now we're on step 28, which is just going to be going from this JST pin to this JST pin. So let's get that installed, which is this cable here. That's nicely installed. We're just going to tuck that cable into the same little channel as well. And then we'll just tuck this cable up through there just for good measure too, because that's going to go into the section in a second. Oh no, I didn't turn the guide off, I clicked the wrong bit. So I've just took the cable in here, and then this cable is the cable that's going to connect to the battery. Thought you forgot what you say. No, I didn't click that this cable needed to connect to that, because it showed on the guide that it was plugged into the board. I figured that that would then plug into the board as well, but obviously it doesn't. So it's a me issue. Right. Now it does show all of the cables running through the central point. I think on my personal build, when I don't have to take this apart, I will probably put a very, very thin piece of tape across that. And I'd probably put the tape underneath these two pads so that these two pads are connected and just hold everything down nicely. That's good. Right, okay, so we've got all of the cables in there nicely. The next job is going to be to connect up the battery piece, which is going to be like so, red to red, black to black. And then we're just going to tuck that as neatly as we can up there. Oh, it's already flashing. I don't know if you guys can see that. It is already flashing. It's already connected. And then as we tuck the cables in, I'm just going to drop that down. Make sure we get that nice and neat. Are we stuck on something? We appear to be stuck on something. Battery cable is just wanting to pull free. Let me try and tuck that underneath one of the other cables and use that to pin it down with. And there we go. We now have a nice tight connection. Yeah, I didn't want to wedge it under in case it hit the light pipes, but yeah, it's all in there now. We're all good. Such a well thought out build. Never mind. And there we go. That is the board all built up and assembled. And we have the switches, we have the rotor encoder, and as you can see, we now have a flashing light here. Because we've selected certain mode, and now we have another flashing light for the other mode, and now have a third flashing light for the third mode. Okay, let's put all of these bags back together and put these in the box, because I will need to put all of the parts back in them at some point. I think I'm definitely going to need a guide on how to disassemble this ready for bowl as well. Looks so good, right? Next job is to pick some keycaps for it. So what sort of colours do you guys think you want to see on this? Do you want to see something bright and poppy, or do you want to see something beige and classic? Let me know in chat what you think, and I'll pick some keycaps based off what you suggest, and then we'll put it to a poll. Windbreaker keycaps, okay. Something bright, yeah, okay. We could maybe look at that as option number 1. Ada. I don't have a set of Ada in my personal collection, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would definitely consider it. Beige. Okay, we can get a set of beige. And then you guys can vote. Should we just do beige and... Colour pop is always good. Okay, I tell you what. Let's put it to a vote. Let's put it to a vote. Let me go get 3 different colours of keycaps, and then you guys can pick. I'll zoom the camera in as well, so it's a little bit closer, so you guys can appreciate the beauty of this. I'm looking for something beige with a numpad, and I can't see anything. I have beige numpad. No, I've taken the keys off it. I thought I had a beige numpad in there, but I've taken the keys off it. I think Classic Retro has a numpad kit, I think. I can't see any numpad kit. Oh, there's a numpad kit. Right, I've got Classic Retro, GMK Classic Retro, which does have a numpad kit. Or we can put Windbreaker on it, which I can't remember where I put. There we go. So, we can go either bright and go Windbreaker, which might look quite nice, or we can go Classic and go Retro. Let me put up a poll. And you guys can vote. Cool. Okay, the poll should be up, guys. I'm just going to zoom out just a touch. There we go. Just so you can see a little bit better. You can pick which of those 2 sets you would like to see. Try both. Let's bathe. Kaiju would make Mecha would be a great match. I don't own that set. We do have it in stock, but I would have to take it out of stock and then purchase the set because I wouldn't be able to then sell it. So, whilst I don't disagree, it's not something I can realistically do, unfortunately. Let's see how your guys' poll goes, though. Windbreaker's winning by a big margin, actually. We could always put the other set on afterwards. Someone is burning points. That's alright, that's what points are there for, to burn. I am just going to try and find my phone and just check everything's okay family-wise. Okay. No messages I need to look at, which is good. Yeah, the vote is going huge. But which keycaps would you like to see on this banging little numpad? Look how beautiful that side profile is. This might be one of the coolest keyboard projects I've ever worked with. So we'll buy Kaiju and authorize Jay to use it before sending it. So pretty. I do love this. This is just so nice. I love this whole style. Baggery and Flatbrains, full-size keyboard when? Yeah, Placket XL extras are going to be soon. Prussian Blue. Yeah, Prussian Blue would look great. Prussian Blue looks good. I don't think I've seen a bad looking set of Prussian Blue though. Which colour am I going for? Should we have a look at the colours while you guys finish voting? Let me get my browser back up. Okay, so there's some really good choices here. So there's the beige, there's the anodized orange, which I think is going to be my choice. There's the green. The green's nice, but it's probably not for me. The silver is great. I love the silver. The black is lovely. Baby blue is nice, but it's not my kind of color, unfortunately. And there's the grey. The grey is great as well. I think I'm probably going to go with the orange. Like, just realistically, I'm going to go with the orange. I think that's probably the nicest color for me. The orange with beige looks just great. None of them look bad though. Like, all of them look great. The beige is really good with beige on. The silver looks fantastic, but there's just something about the orange one. There's just something about that just jumps at me and says, you need me in orange. I'd be really surprised if orange and silver weren't the two most popular options. I know black is usually typically the most popular option in these kind of things, but I think beige and orange are going to be the two. Orange and silver are going to be the two. There's just something about the orange. Yeah, look at it. Something about that. Okay, Windbreaker did win, so let's get Windbreaker on the board. Wait, what did I just hit? No. I hit a button. Grey is great. That's fair. Okay. Setting the lights flashing now. I do like that. Just to play with that is just so satisfying. I should try and find some of the novelties to put across the top, actually. The one new novelties. I think there should be enough. Is there a better key than that at the bottom? I don't know, let's have a look. Need some more Alwyn novelties here. I'm struggling for those right now. Already got the 5. Let's put the 3 in. Go. So we've got 0, 0, 0. I don't know if this has the point for it. Or if it's just going to be 0, 0 key. Okay, why can I not find the 9 key? Come on, Jay, what's going on here? Have I just been blind? my numpad come with an with one less key than it should have done? I'm also missing the plus key. Am I just completely and utterly blind here? That in front of you next to the pink space bar. That's the D. Ah, there, got it. Yeah. And there's the plus key. I was not looking for yellow. I did not click that it would be yellow. Okay. I think we're just going to have to go with the 00. It has a dot next to the barred F. Okay. I'm so blind. There it is. So blind. Okay, now I just need numlock, which I do not see. And I need one more R1 novelty. I don't think I have another R1 novelty. I'm just going to put F13 up there for now. It's fine. It'll do. Right, where's numlock? Did I put that on? I'm sure I've seen it. I might put it in the tub already. No, it's page down. Numlock is orange. Yeah, right. It's there. You are spot on. Good stuff. Look how good that looks. Super, super happy with that. Super stoked with it. Wasn't sure windbreaker on the koala, but it works. It looks really good on the koala. Do you think you'll connect with anything, particularly seeing used build retro keyboards? Yeah, I see a lot of things from my childhood. Like, I was always interested in technology, but I grew up quite poor, and we didn't have a PC in the house until I was in college, so I would have been 16, maybe 17 by the time we got a PC in the home. So I had like a Commodore 64, and that was like my introduction to computing. And my uncle had a ZX Spectrum that I got to borrow sometimes. So I see stuff like that, and I see just like vintage stuff that was always out of reach for me when I was a kid. I just look at stuff like this and I think, man, I wish I'd had access to some stuff like this when I was a child. And you know, I think that's where my love of old things comes from. Stuff that was just so cool and just so close to being in touch and just was a little bit out of reach back in the day. Looks so good. Super happy with that. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to change one thing. I put a novelty on the TKL instead of F13. I'm going to change F13 and put it back on the piece on the koala. But I'm going to put that novelty there. Look at it. So cool. Time to break out the shell suit for 80 retro. Yeah. Discman orange and novelty. I didn't see that in the tub, but you might be right. There's the green Discman novelty here though, which I've just taken from there. I'm not going to put beige on this because I think this just looks too nice. Should we listen to how it sounds? Should we see how it sounds? Let's pause the music. Because I think this is going to sound heavy and dense. You can hear the tactility on these switches. Oh my god, that sounds so good. That feels so nice. God, that sounds so good. Man, I love this thing. I don't have words for how much I love this thing. Like I just don't have words for how much I love this thing. Let's take another look on the website again. Because like, you know, it's a cool thing and there's all sorts of cool, I mean, just look at it in this setting, like all the stuff in the background going on and things like that. It's just so nice. Like, it's just so lovely. And the cables, the VHS tapes, how good it looks with all of the different bits in the background, cassettes, the screwdrivers. Like, this is just my workshop in general. So seeing stuff, I mean, look at this with the VHS and the Game Boy and stuff like that. Like, it's just so cool. It's just amazingly cool. And like, I can't help but think that it's just going to look great no matter what I do with the whole thing. Like whatever board I put on it or whatever thing I put with it, it's just going to look so good. But now I have to take it apart and send it to Bowl. Turn on the solenoid. I can turn on the solenoid. Would you recommend tactile for numpads? I usually buy linear for my boards. That's fair. But yeah, I'm gonna have to send this thing to Bowl. Oh shit, where's it gone? Oh shit. Oh man. I guess Bowl's not getting it. It's just gone. I'm so sorry, Bowl. I'm so sorry, Bagby, but it's like it's just not here anymore. Like, what the hell? I just hate it when that happens. Like, I have something built. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but it's just gone. Like, what a silly joke. What a silly joke that was. Yeah, let's. What's the mode for the solenoid? Did we flick the switch for the solenoid? Is that what it is? Oh, does it need to be plugged in actually? I have to steal this. I can help you look for it. Let me hold the koala for a second. Deep sleep combo by accident. You just plug it back in to wake it up. Okay. Okay, I did hear the solenoid. Let me pause the music again. Oh god, that's so good. Oh, it even works on that. Oh man, that's so nice. There's no flex to it, no, it's really solid. I mean, it's aluminium top mount with 4 screws on a numpad size. There's not going to be any flex in there. What do you say to something that just looks and sounds this good? I mean, look at the angle this cable comes off at. Like, I just love this thing. It is so cool. It's so different. It's so unique. It's something that the community has been sorely needing. A couple of little things. I was not expecting the rotary encoder to cause the solenoid to go off. I really like that. I don't think I've ever seen that in boards, even when they've had a rotary encoder and a solenoid before. This is so that is so satisfying. Like, that's just so satisfying. I think I'd press the key combo to put it back to deep sleep mode, but I am super stoked about this. I cannot wait to get an orange one. Although I am tempted to buy one and have it Cerakoted to match this, like pink and teal. I am really tempted to have one made to match. Really tempted for that. For the duck face, yeah, it's like a little duck beak. I am really tempted to do that. If I can get a raw one, that is what I will do. I did not mean to turn that on. Let's turn that off. What do the switches do? This changes the layer that you're using, so 1, 2, or 3, and then this turns on the solenoid. So that turns on the solenoid. I put it in deep sleep mode again. But yeah, that turns on the solenoid and that turns off the solenoid, and then you've got the different. Yeah, there is a lime color version available as an extra. Check the renders. It comes as orange or lime by default, depending on each colorway. Same for play. Yes, you can pick those up in the extras listing. But yeah, I think a Cerakoted one to match this might be quite nice, because then it would also match my my coasters. Yeah. Can be like to change layer or Bluetooth device. Yeah, I thought at first when I remember talking to you about it that this was going to be the control for the wired wireless Bluetooth type thing, or whether it was going to be for the layer, but I remember you saying earlier on it was for the layer. So yeah, we can remap that. But dude, like super stoked for that. What a great product. What a great product. Is it cheap? No. It's 200 quid including VAT, or it's £165 if you're not in the UK from us. But there's, you know, so many different colors. Hot swap and solder. I mean, I'm gonna go solder. It's 100. You save a £5 by going solder. I'm probably gonna go. Let's build mine now. I think I'm gonna go raw aluminium. I think this is the combination for me. Anodized solder, raw aluminium, 194 quid. I think that's what I'm gonna do. And then, as we're talking about, there is in the extra parts, there is an orange plate, a lime plate, hot swap PCBs, extra feet, that kind of stuff. I don't think I've got photos of that. You see the orange plate there, but yeah. So there are those as well, and of course there is a desk mat to match this as well. So yeah, so it's a full-size desk mat, but it's this whole vintage kick for the NPR. I think that's just a nice mat anyway. So even if you don't want to buy one of the Numpads, consider the desk mat. You have the lime color chip sample in the box as well, if you want to look. Did I miss that? Did I miss the lime sample? Is it in this box? Should make a Numpad size mat. Oh, it's not in this box, unless it's underneath here. No, okay, so it's not in there. But I will put all of these bits in here so I don't lose them. There we go. Should be in the big box. Okay, let's have a look. A Numpad mat, that would be cool. Okay, so there's the orange. Fuck, that's good as well. That's so good. There's the lime. There's the green, and there's the beige. So those are the colours. This is the Nui chair. I'll type it in the chat because it's... There you go, it's that one. That's super nice. Camera, please. Come on, camera, focus. Try and show you in all shades of light, from shadow to bright light. That's pretty color accurate there, or it is on my screen. Your screen may vary, but that's pretty color accurate. Nui chairs give you net damage. I don't have a sample for the dark grey. I just have the beige, which is an e-coat beige, so it's a little less reflective. And then I have the green color as well, which is really nice. It's more of a, the camera's not picking this one up properly. This is absolutely more of a sage color in real life. It's looking a little bit shinier on camera. It's probably closer to that. And then the lime, that's actually pretty close for the lime. That's a good spot actually for being really close for the colours. So there you go. That's super cool. Okay, right. Go buy an NPR because you know you want one. And don't tell me you don't, because, well, you've watched this stream, you've watched me spend 2 hours building a Numpad. So, of course you want one. It's phenomenal, it's fantastic, and it just looks great. There's stuff I wasn't planning on grabbing ones. I really don't have a use for a numpad, but your stream may want to pick one. Like, it's just a unit. Like, it is the size of my face. It is literally like the size of my head. It's chunky, it's weighty. It is beautiful. We all deserve good things, nice things in life. I really like this. Okay, my light just turned off, which means it is time for me to go home. That light turns off to remind me that I need to get my ass home and stop streaming. So, please consider picking up an NPR. There are worldwide vendors, but you know, you can buy it through PT if you would like. We'll ship it anywhere in the world. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm really stoked by this. I am really sad that I'm actually going to have to ship this to Ball. I don't want to. I want to keep it. I'm really sad about that. So I'm going to have to buy one. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm going to head out now, but I'll be around on Discord and Instagram over the next week. So please do let me know if you've got any questions about anything PT related. I'm an open book on any topic PT, or what we do, what we sell, what we are. There'll be updates across all the week about what we're getting done here at PT in the workshop, across Instagram as well, and there'll be announcements on Discord when anything goes live in stock, so please take a look at that as well. Go consider an NPR because it's really good. Like, that's probably one of the most fun build experiences I've had in a while. Like, genuinely, I build 10 keyboards a week on average, maybe more. That one was really fun, like genuinely fun. So yeah, go consider. Right, I'm gonna head out now. Take care, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and have a really good week. I will see you again on stream next Sunday. Yes, I will see you next Sunday. It's the Sunday after I won't see you. Yeah, have a really good rest of your weekend, guys. Take care.